I need to know if I'm alone in my theory when it comes to Sydney Sweeney. I feel like a lot of what she's been doing lately leans into the same playbook that Kim K had. A few years back, she had discussed her discomfort with doing so many unclothed scenes and asked for less in season 2 of Euphoria, saying that a lot of people didn't take her seriously as an actress until they saw her on White Lotus, and felt like those scenes in Euphoria took away from her performance. Then we got that statement from Sydney basically saying that the industry isn't paying well, and from there it seemed that she was leaning more into controversy.
People aren't calling this out enough right now. This isn't some harmless gossip. This one feels tense, awkward, and kind of heavy sitting in everyone's feed. So let's get into what's really going on with Kim Kardashian, because something about this whole situation just didn't sit right compared to her usual chaos. Normally, when Kim makes headlines, the noise fades quick. But this time, oh no, it stuck around. The internet didn't move on. The buzz stayed loud. The energy felt weird, and for once, Kim didn't seem fully in control. Story after story started dropping nonstop, like a chain of falling dominoes. Social media detectives zoomed in on every single frame, every side glance, every moment. People were breaking it all down like they were solving a mystery. Once that fire started, it spread fast. The talk drifted into spots she clearly didn't want touched. You could actually feel the shift in real time between the wild Tom Brady rumors, all that noise around Jeff Bezos' wedding, Lauren Sanchez showing up in every shot, and then people catching moments with Sydney Sweeney. Suddenly, the spotlight that usually stays locked on Kim started to scatter, and you could tell this time the story wasn't spinning her way. The attention was slipping through her fingers, scattered, divided, and totally out of her control. That alone had everyone feeling the tension rise. And let's be honest, Kim noticed that shift instantly. The moment the spotlight drifted, she didn't wait around. She snapped into action. No hesitation, no pause, just full-speed pivot mode like she's done her whole career. That's been her go-to move since forever. When the buzz starts dying or the focus slides off her, she drops something new, something random, flashy, or straight-up bizarre to grab everyone back. And this time, boom, it was that new Skims surgical-style face mask. Out of nowhere, it was all over the internet. Blogs posted it, TikTok couldn't stop arguing about it, and comment sections went absolutely wild. For a second, it actually worked. The chaos tilted back in her favor, even if that awkward tension underneath hadn't gone anywhere. But then people started really looking closer, and that's when things got messy. That mask was going for $50, not $20, not $30, $50 flat. Fans weren't just complaining, they were comparing receipts. Screenshots started flying around, side-by-side pics of nearly identical masks sitting at CVS for under $10. Even Amazon listings were barely scraping past $10. Suddenly, the conversation flipped from hype to outrage, and people were calling her out hard. Once those screenshots hit the feed, the internet did what it always does. It locked in hard. Everyone started digging deep, asking all the right questions. Who was this product really for? Why did it even exist? Was anyone seriously supposed to wear it? Or was it just another flashy distraction tossed out to shift the spotlight?
A lot of people like this Skims stuff and believe it works, and maybe it does on the body. But I'm afraid, KK, you're going to lose a lot of credibility with this one. This is not going to do anything. If you have collagen yarns, what does that mean? It's not going through your skin. It's in the fabric of the material. Is this thing greasy and wet with a moisturizer? It's holding up against your jawline. That's like, here's a napkin. I lifted it up. Now I take away the support and it falls again. Nothing is going to change from wearing this.
The comments started stacking fast, and then, boom, a whole wave of people seemed to catch on to the same realization at once. This was never really about skincare. Never. Every single time Kim found herself in some awkward press or uncomfortable spotlight, something strange and perfectly timed would suddenly drop from her brand. And now that pattern was impossible to ignore. Think back for a second. The nipple bra? That thing came out of nowhere. People argued for days, timelines flooded with memes, debates, and takes flying everywhere. It hijacked the headlines completely, and just like that, the original drama disappeared into thin air. Same playbook, just wrapped in new packaging. And this time, it was that surgical-style face mask, only in 2 shades, brown and tan. People couldn't help but say it looked unfinished, almost rushed, like it didn't even get the usual Skims polish. That one small detail made everything look messier than before. And for the first time, folks weren't just laughing, they were questioning everything. Memes were flooding timelines within hours, jokes flying faster than ever. People started asking wild questions, wondering if that so-called luxury mask was just leftover fabric flipped into a pricey gimmick.
Says Skims, stop it. Do not jump on this trend at all. Literally, somebody said, what did she come out with, Hannibal Lecter? I instantly thought of the movie. I said, oh my God, that looks just like it.
But while everyone was busy laughing and arguing, something much bigger was quietly building underneath the chaos. The real tension here wasn't even about the mask, it was about people, and more specifically, Tom Brady. Word from people close to the situation was that Kim did not take this one well at all. And honestly, it made sense. Right when she was scrambling to redirect attention, Sydney Sweeney kept popping up everywhere. New movie deals, high-profile invites, and constant buzz across the industry. Basically, the kind of spotlight Kim used to get without even trying. Insiders said Kim went all in chasing that Ariana Barbie aesthetic, convinced it was her perfect next era. She wasn't winging it, she was auditioning, calculating, showing up at the right events, trying to lock in her next major chapter. In her mind, this was it, her big transformation moment, stepping fully into that sleek Hollywood-level persona she'd been chasing for years. But the more she pushed that image, the more the cracks started to show, and the timing couldn't have been worse. But Hollywood didn't play out the way Kim expected. It totally flipped on her. The industry was craving something new, lighter, fresher, and easier to market. And guess who fit that vibe perfectly? Sydney Sweeney. She was exactly what studios wanted right now. Young energy, easy charm, and a clean slate. Kim, on the other hand, carried decades of public baggage. Her name was too big, too branded, too tied up in her past for anyone to separate the woman from the empire. At the same time, Kim was holding on to this belief that something real was happening with Tom Brady behind the scenes. She treated it like a private, low-key situation, quiet, unfinished, maybe still in the early stages before going public. But the problem? Tom never backed that up, not once. There were no cozy photos, no subtle entrances together, no hint of that soft launch energy fans usually spot a mile away. The silence spoke louder than anything, and that contrast was impossible to ignore. Then came the money angle, and that made things spiral even more. Jeff Bezos had just dropped $1 billion investment into a lingerie brand that went head-to-head with Skims, and it stung, especially since Kim had spent years trying to build that connection with him and Lauren Sanchez. She was showing up at the right events, staying close, playing the long game, clearly hoping that proximity would turn into a business opportunity. But instead, the deal went to someone else, again. And once people pieced the timeline together, that pattern was impossible to ignore. Fans started calling it out, noticing how the big power moves kept slipping away from Kim. Some even pointed out the irony. Jeff built his empire through Amazon, where small sellers rise fast. But here was Kim fighting to stay relevant in a market she once dominated. Then, out of nowhere, a similar product hit the market, and people noticed fast. Critics started calling out Skims for having that same pattern. A design trends online, blows up everywhere, and then boom, a Skims version drops right after. The internet was connecting dots left and right. Suddenly, everyone was talking about how those coincidences were happening a little too often.
Skims' multi-million-dollar marketing strategy is actually genius. Here's what Skims and Kim do so well. Social proof. It looks like everyone is wearing Skim, which also creates FOMO. Their example is the tangibility here with 80,000 5-star reviews. Scarcity and urgency. Their drops usually are sold out or sell out very fast, as shown here, going fast, which creates the perfect environment for impulse shopping. They have their psychological marketing on lock in terms of solutions-oriented brand. Next generation. It makes you feel like they're being very inclusive and with your needs in mind. Finally, exclusivity. You feel like you're getting in on Hollywood's best kept clothing line secret. While Skims is killing it, in my next video I'll go into how Kylie Cosmetics is flopping and why.
At the same time, reports started rolling in that Kim felt totally sidelined at that wedding, not in some big dramatic meltdown, but in that quiet, sinking kind of way that hits deep and lingers. And it wasn't just about Sydney anymore. The whispers turned into proof when photos started spreading of Tom living it up on a yacht in Ibiza, first spotted with Dakota Johnson and Kate Hudson, then Brooks Nader, and later Sofia Vergara. The list just kept getting longer, and every new picture added another sting, another layer of discomfort. People close to Kim said it wasn't pure jealousy, it was a wake-up call. She started realizing something she'd never really had to face before. The spotlight doesn't stay on one person forever. The industry moves fast, like lightning fast. Attention shifts before you even know it, and sometimes you watch it happen right in front of your eyes. And when it came to Kanye, insiders were clear. His chaos wasn't shaping her story anymore. This time, the shift was all her own, and that made it even harder to face. Their lives had fully split, no overlap, no shared storylines anymore. People didn't automatically tie her identity to Kanye's actions like they used to, and for the first time, that chapter felt officially closed in the public eye. But here's the part that almost no one says out loud in Kim's inner circles. People on the inside, they know what's real and what's manufactured. They can spot the difference between real engagement and boosted numbers in a heartbeat. They know which hype is bought and which is organic. And according to quiet whispers from those close to her world, some people were already sensing the shift. Kim's it girl grip wasn't as unshakable as before. That's when the subtle reactions started creeping in. The side glances, the quiet laughs, the comments whispered just under someone's breath. Nothing loud, nothing public, but enough to feel. And that kind of quiet judgment, it cuts way deeper than any headline ever could. Kim truly believed something real might blossom with Tom Brady. It made sense on paper, both divorced, both parents, both icons in their own lanes, even running in the same elite circles. But then came the twist that hit hardest. She watched him start showing interest in someone much younger. That one detail hit like a gut punch, a cold reminder that even when everything looks perfect on paper, the reality can still sting like crazy. Then came the twist. Tom was suddenly linked to someone older than Kim too, and that's when nothing started making sense anymore. Confusion kicked in, doubt followed right after, and everything got messy fast. The rumors about Kim and Tom had flared up quick, spreading across every feed, every headline, but just as fast as they blew up, they vanished into silence. No confirmation, no follow-up, no closure, just quiet. And sometimes that silence screams louder than any denial ever could. Then came the photos, shots from right after the wedding, and they made everything 10 times worse. Tom was spotted strolling through Venice with Sydney Sweeney and Orlando Bloom. Those images went viral in minutes. No one confirmed anything, no one denied it either, but speculation caught fire all over again. Suddenly, Kim was watching yet another narrative unfold in real time, except this one she had zero control over. Sources close to the situation later said Sydney wasn't even romantically interested in Tom at all, that she was just being polite, friendly, but distant. Not cold, just not into it. And once people caught that detail, the whole story flipped fast. The energy shifted fast, and what was supposed to be just gossip turned into pure awkwardness. The man Kim had quietly hoped would finally acknowledge her in public seemed locked in on everything but her, and that realization hit harder than anyone expected. The person getting all that attention didn't even seem interested, and that imbalance was loud. You could feel it without a single word being said. In no time, the internet twisted it into a full-blown rivalry. Kim versus Sydney, the legacy icon against the rising favorite, the established power versus the new wave of energy taking over the industry. And whether that framing was fair or not didn't matter anymore. Once the story caught traction, there was no stopping it. Multiple outlets kept running updates about what really went down at that wedding. Some wrote it off as harmless gossip, but others pointed out that there were just too many small details overlapping, too many coincidences stacking up to fully ignore what everyone had already seen for themselves. And watching quietly from the sidelines through all of this was Lauren Sanchez, someone who knows the power of timing, attention, and silence better than almost anyone in that entire room. Lauren's no stranger to how these elite spaces move. She knows exactly how a story builds, how narratives twist, and when to stay silent to keep her edge. If anyone in that circle understands the long game, it's her. But that's a whole other story waiting to be told. What made this whole thing feel even heavier was the way it all played out, so public, so viral, yet still never officially confirmed by anyone. The mystery made it even more addictive to watch. No official statements, no corrections, just photos, timing, and body language doing all the talking. And in Hollywood, that kind of silence speaks louder than any press release ever could. Every glance, every clip, every accidental photo told its own story, and the internet didn't miss a thing. So now I want to know what you think. Was this whole situation blown way out of proportion, or was there some real tension brewing behind the scenes? Do you think Kim's actually losing her grip on that spotlight she's held for so long, or is this just another Hollywood cycle spinning out of control again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading them all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you're into these wild deep dives, and make sure you stick around because the next one, it's gonna be even crazier.